What's happening, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I got to tell you, after recording that game and watching it so late, I'm very thankful for daylight savings time, even though it may disappear forever at some point. Anyway, the Habs lose 6-4 to the Vegas Golden Knights in a game that had so much potential. It was a decent game overall, but obviously got out of hand in the third period for the Habs. So, on a night where the Habs were sticking with the Vegas Golden Knights. Forgive me, it is late. Um, Throughout the entire game until the third period, where everything just kind of unraveled. It's not a feel good loss, especially after the Josh Anderson hit in the third period. It's just a buzzkill for me when those kind of hits happens. Those kinds of hits happen. But I have the first period up, so why don't we talk about that first? Because in the first period, the Habs were very much keeping pace, and I would even say, even though Vegas was out shooting Montreal, the first period was a very clean, good first period. The Habs come out of it with they were down 2-1 before the second period started, but I mean, they played a decent period, and Cole Caufield obviously getting his goal, but the pace was great. The pace was great. A lot of back and forth there, and then the Habs come out in the second period and basically don't have possession of the puck for the first half of it. So Vegas, before Vegas goes on the power play for a couple Canadiens penalties, Nick Suzuki ties the game, gets 2 goals in this game himself, and gives us all hope that Montreal is going to stay in it. And even after the second period, they were very much still in it. But for the first 10 minutes of the second period, Vegas builds the momentum they gain on the power play, and just had the puck. And Montreal didn't get their first shot of the second period till 12 minutes in. So you got to give a shout out to Riley Smith. He had himself a heck of a game for Vegas, who is now first place in the NHL. They've taken sole ownership as of right now of first place in the NHL over the Boston Bruins after the Bruins lost to the Leafs tonight. So, Montreal again was in this game though. And I think that's one of the most frustrating parts of it. But I mean, Vegas are shooting Montreal 42-31 by the end of this game, out hitting Montreal 18-9, winning the faceoffs 33-25 over Montreal, and converting 2 out of their 4 power plays did Vegas. So Riley Smith getting, a power play goal, getting 2 goals in this game, and Riley Smith ended up actually getting the first start of the game. So the second period, we go into the third period and it's 2-2. So the third period is where I thought, okay, we're still in this thing. And, let's just even go back up to the score just so my memory isn't too jarred here at what would be normally, 3 in the morning right now, but it's not. It's only 2, thank goodness. But we go to the third period, and again, Nick Suzuki keeping the Habs in it, and then just boom, 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 Vegas scores 3 goals. Nick Suzuki gets another one. And this is the third period, so actually that's not entirely correct. This is kind of out of whack, so forgive me. The one thing that made me feel good after the Josh Anderson hit, I know I'm kind of jumping all over. I tend to do that, but was Juraj Slafkovsky. So this jersey I have on right now, this guy made me feel better before the end of this game, keeping the Canadiens in it. I didn't think the Canadiens deserved to win based on the third period that they had. Jake Allen was playing a very good game. I didn't get a chance to talk about the goaltending in the pregame earlier today, so I do want to say that Jake Allen was still having a very good game despite the results, and the shots in this game were 42-31 in favor of Vegas. But Jake Allen still played very, very well, and it was certainly not his fault for losing this game. The Canadiens just kind of lost it here, and Mike Hoffman. Jeez, I mean, like every time that guy touches the puck, you can just feel like he can feel the weight of the Montreal Canadiens fan base on his shoulders, and he even liked a tweet last week from Habs on Reddit, I believe it was, which said like, please get out of Montreal or something like that. But yeah, whenever Hoffman touches the puck, it just seems like offense just goes to die when it comes to his stick now, which is not a normal thing for him. He was a 20-plus goal scorer, was Mike Hoffman at one point. Jonathan Drouin can't really get anything going. I said in the pregame also how I thought Jonathan Drouin and Mike Hoffman could get going maybe with a steady centerman with Sean Monahan at center on their line, but they haven't played together enough yet. And you know what? Like, it's just too late to try to get chemistry for Jonathan Drouin. It's just too late. It's over. It's over. It's over for Jonathan Drouin and Mike Hoffman in Montreal, and that date can't come soon enough, I don't think. I think that's the most frustrating thing is just the guys in our lineup that we know aren't going to be there very soon. That's the missing holes. Arpon Basu even writing in The Athletic tonight how Marty St. Louis has a Habs Rubik's Cube that he's building, and he knows which parts are in place and he has to figure out which parts aren't going to be. And I think we all know which ones those are. But even Jake Evans having a good game for the Canadiens too, playing with Slafkovsky. And I thought Armia had a great first period. I think you guys can agree that Yoel Armia had a very, very good first period. So, but we are still talking about the third period as much as my brain is just trying to remember everything I just watched. But we'll talk about the Josh Anderson hit for a second on Alex Pietrangelo. Didn't like it really, and I don't think that Josh had the intent to injure him or anything like that. But just the fact that Pietrangelo kind of was going up towards the boards and was kind of moving around a little bit. Josh thought it maybe was a clear lane to give him a hard shoulder check into Pietrangelo's shoulder, but it ended up being his back more so. And you saw Pietrangelo's face get all bloodied up, and Josh gets the 5 in a game misconduct. And now the league might look at the hit. We'll see. But just based on how good Josh Anderson can be to this team, and I think he could be part of the solution going forward and not somebody they want to move unless they get a great offer, which a good offer just hasn't come for him yet. I still might want to have him on this team. I don't know how you guys feel, but it just sucks when you see hits like that. So didn't like the hit, but it does happen, unfortunately, in this league. So just want to make sure my mic was still on. Okay. Anyways. So what else to talk about in this game before I wrap it up here, guys? Well, I mentioned Slafkovsky's goal at the end, his third goal of the season. I did have one of you nice folks in the pregame tell me that, just to confirm, that Slafkovsky does not have to clear waivers if he got sent down to Laval. All it means by him playing more than his 9 games in his entry-level deal is that his first-year entry-level deal will come off of his 3-year deal, which basically means that first year is burned and it will count towards his 3-year deal expiring, if you will, in 3 years. So basically, I know it's a little confusing to some of you. So just to clarify, if Slafkovsky only played 9 games with the Canadiens and was sent down to the minors, to the AHL, to Laval Rocket, then his first year would not be counted towards his total 3-year contract that he's signed for right now, but it likely will if he plays another game. It'll count towards his 3 years, which means that, if he played the rest of the season in Laval, his first year of his 3-year contract wouldn't have counted, and it would only start next year. So I think that makes more sense. But now it's clear that the Canadiens are probably going to keep him, not just based on the fact that he scored tonight, but, he's got to put 2 hands on his stick. I want to see more of that. He's got a long reach, but I think he's very much going to be staying in Montreal. So other than that, Nick Suzuki, scoring a great power play goal. Montreal has scored a lot more on the power play. That's an encouraging sign lately, and it's because they're passing less, as you can tell. And that was the crazy thing about the Josh Anderson hit in the first place, was that the Canadiens got a power play out of it, and they score on it, and then Vegas comes down and scores on their power play. What a bizarre sequence, just because, a bunch of guys went after Anderson, of course, including Pietrangelo. So, yeah, just a crazy, bizarre game. It was all over the place. There was hope up until the third period, then the Canadiens just kind of fell off. Joel Edmondson had a tough game. I thought he had a tough game, some turnovers. Jake Allen saved his butt on one of those breakaways that he gave away, but 2 of the goals in the first period, I believe it was, were partially, if not all, Joel Edmondson's fault. So that was a tough thing to see for him. Caden Gooley with a beautiful pass, by the way, to Slafkovsky. That was just a mint pass to Slafkovsky. I got to throw that out there. Other than that, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about in this game. And Cole Caufield again. He's scoring his 8th goal, still remaining, second in the league in goals, which is crazy. 40 is not out of reach whatsoever for that kid. I hope he keeps it up. I really do. I really, really do. So other than that, that's all I got, guys. 9 minutes, long enough for me to ramble. And that's why maybe the format's going to change when I get my new camera, because I'm going to try to piece together my thoughts a bit more. But maybe you guys are liking it just the way it is. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it despite the loss. And we'll see you on the next one. All my best. Stay tuned to Habs tonight. We got a full episode coming tomorrow as well, a weekly roundtable episode. So we'll see you then. Cheers, guys.